Today, we'll delve into the captivating story of Adam and Eve, the first humans created by God, and how their lives shaped the destiny of mankind. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. He formed man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became a living soul. This man was named Adam, and he was placed in the Garden of Eden, a paradise on earth where everything was perfect, with rivers flowing and trees bearing fruit to sustain Adam's life. Seeing that it was not good for man to be alone, God created a companion for Adam. He made Eve from one of Adam's ribs, symbolizing that she was bone of his bones and flesh of his flesh. This act of creation was not just physical, but also spiritual, forming a perfect union destined to complement human existence. Together, Adam and Eve lived in harmony in Eden, where they had everything they needed, but with one restriction: they were not to eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. The presence of this tree was a test of obedience and trust in God. However, the serpent, more cunning than any beast of the field, approached Eve and questioned the divine prohibition. She was persuaded to eat the forbidden fruit, with the promise that she would become like God, knowing good and evil. Eve, in turn, gave the fruit to Adam, and they both ate. Immediately, their eyes were opened, and they realized they were naked, so they sewed fig leaves together to cover themselves. God called out to Adam and Eve in the garden, but they hid out of shame. When they finally presented themselves, God knew what they had done. As a consequence of their disobedience, Adam and Eve were expelled from the Garden of Eden, and death entered the world. Adam would now have to work hard to sustain himself, and Eve would suffer pain in childbirth. But beyond the punishments, there was the promise of future redemption, a savior who would be born to reverse the effects of sin. The story of Adam and Eve is more than just a tale of how sin entered the world. It's a reflection on the choices we make, the impact of free will, and the eternal hope of redemption. It reminds us of the importance of living in obedience to God and the consequences our choices can bring. Now, how does this story resonate with your life? Share in the comments what impacted you the most and how you understand the lesson of Adam and Eve. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the Path of Faith for more inspiring stories and biblical teachings. Don't forget to like and share.